What's up, guys? My name is Aaron. Today I'm going to be reviewing Love, Simon. This is a movie directed by Greg Berlanti and it stars Nick Robinson. I'm going to just throw up the summary up there because I feel like if you watch this review, you basically already know what the movie is basically about. I really didn't have that much expectation for the movie based on the trailers that I saw. I thought it was a cool idea to kind of do this type of story with a gay teenager, but I kind of felt like it just looked like a normal, romantic comedy. You know what I mean? I'm not like a huge fan of those, but I did see that they put in Catherine Langford from 13 Reasons Why, so I was like, okay, I guess they got me basically because I just love her. So I gave it a chance because of that. I think this movie really surpassed my expectations. I really expected nothing with this movie, but I thought it was a pretty great movie that I think might be better at doing what it's doing than Spider-Man: Homecoming, which is kind of having this modern John Hughes vibe with the movie. Like I said, it really does have that John Hughes vibe. Where it's like really quick-witted comedy-wise, and it kind of has those nostalgic moments that really kind of remind you of high school, but it kind of combines that with the heart of This Is Us by like kind of how suddenly and kind of how stealthy the feelings kind of sneak up on you. I really didn't realize how much I cared about Simon until like the force coming out scenes happen, and you really get invested into the character that I really didn't, think I would. I kind of felt like I was just kind of watching like a normal romantic teen comedy, but until the gravitas and the meaning of his situation was kind of revealed, my heart was like pounding like 2 or 3 times late during the movie, kind of hoping that everything would be okay for him, which I think is a good sign for the movie that I'm this like kind of wrapped up into the story and stuff. I think it's capably acted across all the board. I think Nick Robinson kind of proving to be a solid actor. The only thing I've ever seen him in before this was Jurassic World, a movie which I hate, and I think he's like a big reason why I hate it. But I think right here he kind of handles the comedic elements of the role, but more importantly, he has that kind of a vulnerability about him that causes the viewer to be protective about him. This isn't going to be like career defining performance for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him pop up more things here now and then. I think his friends, played by Alexander Shipp, Jorge Lindenberg Jr., and Catherine Lanford, I think they're all believable in their supporting roles as his teenage friends and stuff. And although Jennifer Garner and Josh Duhamel were barely in it, they managed to leave a lasting impression as his parents, with each of them having like a good scene. I really like Josh Duhamel's scene. I thought that was a really nice, kind of touching scene that kind of reminded me of my dad, I guess. I thought Tony Hale was probably the most consistently funny thing about the movie, as is like trying too hard to be cool but came across as goofy principal. I just think that Tony Hale, from Arrested Development and Veep, he's just such a naturally talented comedian that he can basically sell anything. And I thought that that was definitely a highlight of the movie for me. And I just think that the overall feeling of the movie was just great, just in a really nice nostalgic way. It really did have the John Hughes feeling, largely due to the writing and the story, I would say, but the score was really heavy on 80s synth pop, like his movies tended to be. That's one of my favorite genres of music, so I'm always into that. The soundtrack is really fantastic, really utilizing some of the best in pop music, like the 1975 Khalid and a lot of Bleachers, which really fits in nicely with the 80s aesthetic of this movie. And I think there was some nice kind of flair behind the camera too, especially during like dream sequence that kind of centers on a certain Whitney Houston song. I'm always like a sucker for 80s teen movies, I guess, and I think this one really kind of captures that feeling in a way that made it a little bit better than Spider-Man: Homecoming to me. I think the movie falls flat in two ways, and they're kind of connected. I think it's a pretty familiar story, and you can really kind of telegraph the beats of the moments of the movie. I was surprised at who Blue ended up being the person that Simon is trying to find out and stuff, but outside of that, it was fairly predictable, down to the friends breaking up. And about that friends part, I felt like it was a bit convoluted. Like it was a bit convoluted and obvious what was going to happen. I could just really see the writers kind of trying to figure out a way to make it seem natural and stuff, but it just came across as really forced to me. And I could tell that it was just a little bit clunky in its execution. I also thought that the character Martin was a little bit over the top, even though I think that theater kids kind of act that way. I think overall this is an enjoyable movie. It kind of has that Johnny Hughes vibe with like a lot of like heart on his sleeve, which is really kind of up my alley. And I think that it has some nice thematic ideas about identity and being okay with yourself that I think I connected to. I thought it was really well acted across the board, and I think that the overall 80s style of the movie was just really nice. Even though the plot can get a little bit convoluted and a little bit familiar at times, I really enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to. So overall, I would give this an 8 out of 10. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Love, Simon. What are your guys' thoughts? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments what you thought, and thanks for watching. Thanks, guys. Bye.